morning. I hope you're well. Ah, we got rainbows. See that? That's the spectrum of the sun. That's exactly what that is. Right now we're looking at, you can see the blue end, then it goes on towards white, and then towards yellow, ends up in orange, and then red at the very end. That's the color spectrum. White is right in the middle. White is a combination of it all put together in one spot. Isn't it ironic that if you mix all the colors together, it turns white? So this is chapter 5 of the I Ching series. The name of this hexagram is called Waiting. And just so we have an idea, I want to tell a little story about this book, this particular book. I showed this book to somebody the other day, and they said, "My God, that is an old book." I'm like, yeah, it is. And in many ways, it tells the story of my life. It's been with me for so long. There are notes inside, there are cards inside, there are drawings. Some guy at some point drew that. It says, "He fails God never." And it got wet out here on the Oregon coast. And what happened is all the little drawings and pictures and stuff kind of imprinted into the pages before and after. There's underlined sections. People have left little notes, footnotes, and you can see this has been a source of great wisdom and great power to a lot of people, not just me. And it really does tell the story of my life. And this time around, I'm really going through it from an analytical perspective. And that's what this series is about. It'll end up 64 videos long, as there are 64 chapters. And I'm going to try to analyze it from what I've learned over the years and put that out there. And there's a couple of you, I think, who are watching. I noticed that I don't get many views with the analytics or show that people watch. So thank you. Actually, thank God. It's not, I'm just putting it out there. So in the first 4 chapters, it's kind of like being born, if you will. You have the creative, which works together with the receptive to create all things, life in particular. However, in chapter 3, difficulty at the beginning, it shows that it's never going to be easy. That life is hard. Bottom line, life isn't meant to be easy. You're lucky to have it. Be willing to work for it. That's the point. You know, in chapter 4, youthful folly, now we're here. Now we have life. Now we have an experience. The young fool doesn't mean a person who's stupid. It means it's somebody who just is like a kid at a toy store, you know, going along in the lanes, going, I want this and I want that, and pure ego, basically, is what the youthful fool is, until they learn, until they find a teacher, until they find appropriate respect for that teacher, and therefore accumulate wisdom and become less of a fool. And now, chapter 5, we have waiting. It is perhaps one of the most important, and maybe the first lesson that the young fool needs to learn. If you're a kid in a candy or a toy store, and you want this and you want this and you want that and you want that, and you're going to throw a fit if you don't get it, you need to be shown, taught. And oftentimes it's mom. who back in the days when I was growing up would take you over a knee right there and go whap, whap. Couple, not hard times, but enough to kind of humiliate you. It'll make you wake up and go, oh, I can't have it. And here we have waiting, chapter 5. And I will have a tendency to get a little emotional with this. Maybe I should close this door. There we go. So we have waiting, and in parentheses, nourishment. The image is water above, heaven below. If you look at the direction of the two triagrams, water goes down, heaven rises up. So they're not in their proper places, but they're moving towards that direction. All beings have need of nourishment from above, but the gift of food comes in its own time, and for this, one must wait. This hexagram shows the clouds in heaven giving rain to refresh all that grows and to provide mankind with food and drink. The rain will come in its own time. We cannot make it come. We have to wait. The idea of waiting is further suggested by the attributes of the two triagrams: strength within, danger in front. Strength in the face of danger does not plunge ahead, but bides its time, whereas weakness in the face of danger grows agitated and has not the patience to wait. Have you ever been in a situation with somebody and you feel like they're being inefficient about it or something, and yeah, they're going to get it done, but they could do it another way and it would be better, and you kind of get like, I think that's a good example of that. Strength in the face of danger would be, okay, they'll get it done. Why should my ego be bruised by that? They'll get it done and it'll be good. Right? Let go. Forgive, forget, let go. So strength is able to bide its time and be patient and not connect to the ego, to the child, whereas weakness, on the other hand, grows agitated because it's still connected to the ego and the child. The judgment, waiting. If you are sincere, you have light and success. Perseverance brings good fortune. It furthers one to cross the great water. Waiting is not mere empty hoping. It has the inner certainty of reaching the goal. Such certainty alone gives that light which leads to success. This leads to the perseverance that brings good fortune and bestows the power to cross the great water. One is faced with a danger that has to be overcome. Weakness and impatience can do nothing. Only a strong person can stand up to their fate, for their inner security enables them to endure to the end. This strength shows itself in uncompromising truthfulness with oneself. It is only when we have the courage to face things exactly as they are, without any form of self-deception or illusion that a light will develop out of events wherein we may see the path to success. This recognition must be followed by resolute and persevering action. For only a person who goes to meet their fate resolutely is equipped to deal with it adequately, and then they will be able to cross the great water. That is to say, they will be capable of making the necessary decision and surmounting the danger. The image. Clouds rise up to heaven. This is the image of waiting. Thus, the superior man he eats and drinks and is joyous and of good cheer. Very important. Like I said, I have a tendency to get emotionally overwhelmed by this because the message is, even when I use it in an organized fashion, I put my ego into it and say, well, I'm going to do it chapter by chapter because I'm so important. You know, I'm learning. And the message, truthfulness with yourself. That's where you have to step outside of yourself, if you will. That is where you have to really remove the self from the self, disconnect the ego from the self, if you will, and be able to look at yourself and go, okay, I see the issues. Now let's work on them. That is a profound statement. That's all I can say to that. So at any rate, when clouds rise into the sky, it is a sign that it will rain. There is nothing to do but wait until the rain falls. It is the same in life when destiny is at work. We should not worry and seek to shape the future by interfering with things before the time is ripe. We should quietly fortify the body with food and drink, and the mind with gladness and good cheer. Fate comes when it will, and thus we are ready. And so God has gifted us with multiple rainbows here today, my friends. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, not me, but everything else. The stuff going on over on this side. Kind of a different sort of a rainbow. The whole. My name is Jerome. This is Spirituality 2. This was Chapter 5. Waiting. Nourishment. Have a good day.